I'm Thad Brown. This is Carl Jones. We are getting you ready for Bills camp, going position by position, talking about the Bills defense today, the edge rushers in particular. I'll talk about the strength, weakness, and X factor of the group. Carl's job is to determine how much of an impact each of those things might have on the season by playing everybody's favorite game, yes, no, kinda. We'll explain how we go. We'll explain it as we go here. With the strength of these edge rushers, I think it starts at the top with the elite starters, Von Miller and Leonard Floyd, over Greg Rousseau for now, because Floyd has the pedigree, a guy who's had at least 8 sacks each of the last 3 years. I think Von Miller is self-explanatory. So the question to you is, Carl, will the Bills be able to use this strength to carry the season at large? Your answers are yes, no, or kinda.
I'm going to say kinda, and we're going to touch on it a little bit later, for the sole factor of Von Miller's health. I think that week one, I would say no. However, at the point that the Bills are in their, championship window, they're fighting for Super Bowls. So as long as this unit is up to its potential come December, January, and obviously for Bills fans, February, those two guys can lead you to a Super Bowl. We just saw the Eagles have the same formula of just getting to the passer and wrecking havoc all year long. The 49ers were the same way. That's the one formula for success. And if you can get to the passer with those two guys, they will have a good chance.
I think that's a good answer for now, especially with the uncertainty around Von Miller going into the season. The weakness for this group, now, caveat first, it's a relative weakness, but the weakness for the group is really everybody else, and I think the thing you point to as evidence for that is what happened last year when Von Miller got hurt. That pass rush just fell off an edge. It was non-existent. Now, to be fair, Greg Rousseau had 8 sacks last year, and you and I can sit here and we have in this space debated how legit those sacks are, how, I think a decent number of them are manufactured by good scheme. Regardless, the guy had 8 sacks. That's a good number. So to say that everything else is a weakness probably isn't really accurate, but relative to the guys at the top, there is certainly a significant drop-off to the rest of the group. So how much do you think the rest of these edge rushers could theoretically or will theoretically submarine the season for the Bills? Yes, no, kinda.
I don't think they will, because I'm of the belief I need my guys to be guys and my stars to be stars. If Leonard Floyd and Von Miller aren't playing like they're supposed to be, it doesn't matter what Boogie Basham or A.J. Epinesa, barring that they have a 10-sack season out of nowhere. But if those two aren't up to par, I really don't care about where the other guys are. And obviously Greg Rousseau, you would like to see him ascend a little bit. You don't want these guys to just be, 1- and 2-sack guys. But I'm of the belief if those two aren't doing their job, the other two guys, you guys are just there to help them out and make sure they're fresh come the fourth quarter.
I think you broke the rules there. The rules are yes, no, kinda, and you kind of went with it doesn't matter.
Almost no, it doesn't. No, yeah. No. N-O for the people at home.
All right. The X factor for this group, we've been kind of hinting at it already, is Von Miller and his health. Now, Von says he's going to be ready week 1. Now, I think we've learned at this point, Von says a lot of things that you don't have to take super serious. But, when you compare it to Trey White, who had an ACL injury in the exact same day of the year on Thanksgiving, and it took him 12 full months before he was even on the field, and then he was never really at all last year close to 100%. I think with Von Miller, the difference is when you're a corner and you're reacting and having to always be, cutting and moving on those knees in a direction you're not expecting to go, defensive ends have to do similar stuff, but not nearly as much. So I think it's reasonable to think Miller can come back sooner. To me, the big question is, can he get back to 100%? Even if it's January, can he play at that Hall of Fame level the Bills paid $51 million to get? So, Carl, will the X factor and the potential swings of what Miller could be this year have a big determination on how the Bills season goes?
Yes, 110%, no doubt about it. That time of year, once again, it's a little bit of a theme here, stars to be stars and guys to be guys. The Bills paid 9 figures to get this guy to play in January and to affect the game in that way. We just saw the Eagles and how Hassan Reddick changed the entire year. He ruined the NFC Championship game by breaking someone's elbow, okay? Yeah. So there's so many times where you need your guy on that pivotal third down. We saw it earlier in the season last year against the Chiefs where he single-handedly changed that last drive and forcing Patrick Mahomes to throw an interception to Taron Johnson. They need him to do that. There's no one else on that roster who has the upside of changing the game like Von Miller. So if he's not 100%, I don't think they have much of a fighting chance.
I think I agree with all those answers. All right, you are all set at defensive end. For Carl M. Thad, you can click on something else now here at RochesterFirst.com.